This call is being
everybody
recorded.
a happy Kwanzaa. We are on Ujamaa. Those of you that's out there practicing Kwanzaa, hopefully you're living the principles on a daily basis. You know, all these principles are life affirming, positive, powerful, and when applied, can change your life. And we are on Ujamaa, which is cooperative economics, which is a major, major piece that we have to really, really start focusing on. We got to start looking at these cooperative economics so that we can start developing, as I keep on saying, that economic life. You know what I'm saying? That economic life, that life flow of that economic energy, that exchange of information, that exchange of energy, that exchange. You know what I'm saying? It's basically exchange. We don't have a positive, powerful exchange going on in the community. Yes, we do. We do have it, but it's in a negative way. We're exchanging life. We're not exchanging goods. You know what I'm saying? We're not exchanging value. You know what I'm saying? Things of value. We are not creating things of value. We are purchasing things that we feel are valuable. We're purchasing things that the world tells us is valuable. But we do not and have not developed our own, well, at least our economic life. We have not developed our own markets, our own exchanges. You know, I was just checking out this powerful sister online, man. She is powerful, and she was wise enough to get involved in the hair trade. You know what I'm saying? When I say hair trade, I'm talking about she sells weed, right? And which is a very lucrative business, right? But what's crazy to me, I hear people bragging about the beauty of the hair, and the hair is so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But it's not our hair. You know what I'm saying? We are pushing and striving to look like others, and we have a $1 billion industry that if we was to start creating and investing in our own hair, we could single-handedly almost turn a community all the way around. But you know, no, everybody wants to be free. Everybody thinks that freedom means you are able to do what you want to do. We're the only people that believe in this type of freedom. You know what I'm saying? We're the only people that believe in democracy. You know what I'm saying? In a way that democracy is taught to us to practice. We're the only one that believe that everybody should have a voice. Everybody should have their vote. You know what I'm saying? And we can look at America, but America don't do that. You know what I'm saying? America don't do one, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the major decisions like going to war and stuff like that, everybody don't vote. Everybody don't get a vote. You know what I'm saying? But of course, in my community, everybody gets a vote. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? You could be in organization for 15 years and your vote is just as equal as somebody who just walked in the door yesterday. We need to kill that. You know what I'm saying? We need to kill individuals just being able to walk into a place and is granted amnesty and granted rights. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in our community is not of the community. Everybody that is black is not part of what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We're the only people that do that, and we gotta stop that. You know what I'm saying? And I know some of y'all are like, oh, everybody, we got to open the doors. Yeah, but you need to prove yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know, far as the where I'm headed with Gye-Nyame, I know some people gonna hate this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing to say until you paid dues for 2 years and gave me 3 years of sweat. How about that? You know what I'm saying? We need to start leading with sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? We need to start having people come in wanting to serve rather than give your damn opinion. Keep your opinion to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know, until you have earned the right to speak, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Really, we need to really start looking at the things that we're saying. We need to start looking at we really need to start looking at how we build our organizations, right? You know what I'm saying? We got people just able to walk in. They don't do no sacrifice. They don't do, you know what I'm saying? They don't give nothing. and they are able to have an opinion. No, an opinion is earned. You know what I'm saying? We have to start really understanding that, and we need to start exercising that. And those that can't get with that need to keep stepping. You know what I'm saying? They need to keep stepping. And we got to be real about that. We got to be honest about that. If we're really talking about building up this community, we're talking about developing an economic life. What have you applied to the economic life? What have you sacrificed? What have you brought of value to the economic life of our community? You know what I'm saying? We have people that create things that many of us will not even think about purchasing, right? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I keep going back to the ambit piece. You know what I'm saying? We're doing the energy business. And all we're asking is for individuals to turn over, to sample our product, sample our service. Allow us to serve you for 2 months. You don't like it? You don't have no contract. Walk away. And it's hard to get people to even try that. It don't cost them no extra money. You know what I'm saying? If anything, they're paying less than a penny more. And we got people that won't even, but hey, I'm not going to get on that. I just get upset. I just know that we need an economic life. I know that we need to prepare this next generation to be able to finance our community. You know what I'm saying? The problem is that we have not learned to recognize the problems. The problem is we have not learned to recognize the problem. We don't recognize the problem. We have to send our kids to other communities to get educated. We don't see the problem with all of us have to go outside of our community to have a job. We don't see the problem with going to the mall and spending our money. We don't see the problem with going to a corner store that's not owned by one of us and spending our money. We don't see the problem with going out and buying rims. You know what I'm saying? We don't see the problem with not being able to have our own banks. We don't see the problem with not being able to protect and defend our community. We don't see the problem with not making our children we don't see the problem with not being able to provide our children with jobs. We don't see the problem with that stuff. We don't see the problem with police being able to randomly roll through our neighborhoods and harass. We don't see the problem with the little niggas sitting on the corner selling drugs. We don't see the problem. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, the things that we focus on that we think are the problems are just bigger symptoms. You know what I'm saying? When in fact, the problem is that we don't recognize the problem. We don't recognize the problem is us relying on others rather than to learn to trust and to help each other. Now, this is why I'm glad that Gye-Nyame is doing Imani. We're going to be celebrating during Kwanzaa on Friday at the Millennium Community School, 3500 Refugee Road in Columbus, Ohio. We are going to be hosting Imani, right? It's a potluck. Not potluck. It's called a karamu. Everybody bring a dish. Come bring some food and share. We're trying to stack it up. We're going to be viewing a movie and we're going to have a discussion. At least we're going to view a portion of the movie, and we are going to have a discussion about the movie because we're going to be talking about economics. Because I know y'all like, well, no, Brother Hatim. Today is cooperative economics. Today is Ujamaa. We need to be discussing but the key piece to cooperative economics is the word cooperative, and part of being able to cooperate comes with us having a faith or a trust in our brothers and sisters. So in order for us to even get to a point where we could even be able to do cooperative economics, we have to start with developing a faith and a trust in each other. You know what I'm saying? And one way to practice that faith and trust is by developing black businesses, doing little small things for each other, to finance. You know what I'm saying? Being clear on, look, this is what we're doing with the dough, right? You know what I'm saying? I want to do a camp for 6 weeks straight, 6 weekends, not 6 weeks, 6 weekends in a row for 6 weekends. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I want to be able to take some young people to different. Well, I ain't gonna get all into it because some of y'all thieves out there, but that's cool, you know. But I want to do weekend camps. You know what I'm saying? So the parents know that they got the weekend free, and they know that their children or they know that their young people, their young warriors, are actually being trained into some things in life. Now, I know y'all like, Brother Hatim, good grief, man. I stopped in for the folk tales. Well, I'm glad that you decided to stop in for the folk tales, whether you stopping in live or you stopping in Memorex. You know what I'm saying? So for those that want to join the conversation, hit me up at 614-556-4535, 614-556-4535. For those that have studied in advance and those who may just be coming, the folktale we're going to talk about today is called The Traveler and Fortune. The Traveler and Fortune. And we're going to get into it. We're going to knock it out. Whether people come, whether people don't come, it makes no difference. You know what I'm saying? The wisdom train is setting off, and hopefully you get on. You know what I'm saying? Hey. So once again, those that are interested in hit me up, 614-556-4535. Or you can follow the link and hit me up on the Hangout, the Google Hangout, or you can just sit there and listen to me on my Spreaker station. All right. So this is Brother Hatim. I'm glad that you have chosen to spend some time with us. Let's get this wisdom. Somebody just I think this is Janet.
Yes,
up, girl?
yes.
I
Hello.
was just in your town. I'm just now getting back, man.
I'm glad you made it back safe.
Yeah, man. If I know I was coming up there early, I would have called early, but I ain't find out till late last night. You know I'm old.
Yeah, I understand.
You still had to move the show because I couldn't keep on waiting till 10 o'clock.
Right.
There.
Yep,
I was
that's
falling
good.
asleep. So how things going for you, sis?
Pretty good. I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. But you're still building, though, right? You're still teaching,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep,
All
absolutely.
Right. Those that follow me on Facebook or at least look at myself on Facebook, you see I'll be putting her post up because she be coming up with some little profound statements. I mean, really, because I like to highlight people that's doing stuff other than, the booty shots and all. I mean, it's so much of that on there, so I feel it's my responsibility when I run across somebody like yourself that's posting up some insights that I share.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you ready for this folk tale?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, not last week, 2 weeks before, because I fell asleep last week. But you missed the Hare and the Hound, girl.
Aww.
Man.
Aww.
Hold on. Didn't I just tell y'all? Come on now. It's funny, man. I was sitting up here talking to myself, Sister Janice, right? Just doing the show. My kids didn't make a sound. Soon as you called,
everybody wanted
on the show. My daughter started banging on the wall like she was in jail or something.
That's how it works.
Running in here. But, hey, the children, hey. And I'm glad they seeing me do this because my wife don't be understanding sometimes. Because I take them I did a Kwanzaa celebration on Friday. I think it was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, it was Saturday. We did emoji, and I was every time I would get up and I would do my poetry or get up and speak. They would act right, but as soon as I sit down, they start tearing up the table. They start acting. But when I'm up on stage, they act like they got some sense.
Children.
Oh man, I love my children, man. Oh my God, and I said, that's one reason I do this, man, because a lot of people be like, nobody ever listens. I get some listeners, and I'm not really pressed about that. My piece is, I'm recording for 5 years from now. I'm recording for 10 years from now. I'm recording so that when I'm not here and my children need some advice, they're gonna be able to come back to something like this and hear me and you having a logical conversation. When even though they might be surrounded by a bunch of foolishness, they're gonna be able to come back to this 5 to 10 years from now and be able to say, hey, my uncle, my daddy and my auntie was sitting up having a good conversation, and this, we never know who might need this information. So today, the folk tale is called The Traveler and Fortune.
Mhm.
It's a pretty good one. A traveler, wearied from a long journey, lay down, overcome with fatigue, on the very brink of a deep well. Just as he was about to fall into the water, Dame Fortune, it is said, appeared to him and, waking him up from his slumber, thus addressed him: "Good sir, pray wake up, for if you fall into the well, the blame will be thrown on me, and I shall get an ill name among mortals. For I find that men are sure to impute their calamities to me, however much by their own folly they have really brought them on themselves." It say everyone is more or less master of his own fate.
Mm.
And what I like about this tale, I didn't get a chance to look it up because a lot of times I read these at the last minute. Even when I'm sharing, I get the story and I get on Google, I Google the story and I post up a link so that people could read it in advance. I don't have a lot of time to look at some of these because I'll be moving, but this theme of blame, is something that you see throughout a lot of our folk tales, whether we're talking about the Caribbean, whether we're talking about African, or whether we're talking about African American. The theme of blame on something outside of ourselves, or blame on a higher being. This is a common theme in many of the stories. There's another story that I remember reading years ago about the devil and God having a competition, and the devil said, "All right, God, I want to show you how unfair the world is." So the God said, "Please, man, come on, show me." So the devil said, "All right, God, what I want you to do is I going to take this bag of money and I am going to place it right here. I want you to make an obstacle that people have to get over to get this money." So the devil lays down the money. God puts a big rock and raises up the ground up underneath the money, so there's like a high mountain and a big rock that individuals got to get over and move through in order to get it. So as they going towards it, the devil says, "Watch what happens, God." So people walk up to the obstacle, climb up the hill, go up to the obstacle, and curse the devil, and climb over and grab the bag of money and thank God. The devil says, "See, I can't win for losing." You know what I'm saying? No matter what I do, I'm gonna get the blame. And it's always about this thing, about this blame thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of us have fallen into the trap of playing the blame game. We want to blame things outside ourselves. We want to look at these big concepts outside of ourselves to try to rationalize our foolishness, try to rationalize our faults, try to rationalize our fears. We rather than just dealing with what's really going on inside of us. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to throw that out there. I know you got something for it. So,
well, the only thing, I think that as we look around at what's happening in this nation, like right now, snapshot right now, one of the things that I've been talking about the last couple of days is that we got to quit. When I say we, I'm talking about not just the community of color, but the human community. We have to stop framing ourselves as, for example, victims of any kind of oppression. And when we talk about, for instance, this Tamir Rice piece, the question is, what have we really done to impact situations like that? I mean, we rise up, we protest, we hold speeches, we hire lawyers, we do all of that after the violence has happened.
Right.
So what do we do in order to protect ourselves from that even becoming a reality? What are we doing in our everyday? For instance, from my perception, with children, to make sure that, or in the hopes that we protect them and ourselves from this horrible continuation of what has been, because this is not new.
It's not new at all.
And you know,
and the piece is, we are seeing more of it because we have access to the very thing we're using right now to communicate with.
That's right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was looking at some because on the way to Detroit, I found this sister named Lexi. Brilliant. I think she's from Detroit. I think she's in Detroit. I look at Eric Thomas. He in Detroit. They're using the platform of the internet to spread a message. And I just wished we had that when we was younger, man. But
absolutely.
But the point is, more information is traveling at the speed of light, literally now. So we know exactly what's happening in California. Me and you can get on the internet right now, and even our phone. You know what I'm saying? We can do it on the phone. We can get on there and find out what's happening right now. And
absolutely.
And once again, we disempower ourselves when we allow for ourselves to blame, regardless of whether we're talking about communities of colors or whatever. And one of the things, because the issue that has bothered me for the last 3 days, because I just started seeing all these videos of police just totally choking people out.
Right.
I mean, it was a white boy. I think it was a white boy that went into the police station.
Right.
And they put him down on the ground and basically choked him out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we're hearing about the police just shooting. And it's like, we take a victim stance and we're going to protest and stuff. But then, on another point, I posted a video because I just happened to be looking at, I guess it was a soccer game somewhere, where the white boy, you know how they get excited about their soccer. So he jumped on the field and he's running and he's got a sign. He's trying to advertise something, and the police stroke him down. They tackle him and they're holding him down. So the whole soccer game stopped. The soccer players are upset. But they see one police jump on this dude. They see two police officers jump on this dude. They see three police officers jump on this dude. They see a fourth police officer jump on this dude and start hitting the dude in the ribs with the stick. And one of the soccer players jumped across the pile and kicked the police officer in the head that was hitting the dude with the stick. And then the crowd broke through and started beating the hell up out the police officers for beating this dude up. They wasn't mad because he was getting arrested. They was mad because the police were breaking the rules. And the police will continue doing what they're doing to us in America, because this wasn't in America. They will continue doing to us as long as we constantly take a victim stance. As long as we look at...
That's exactly right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this. One of the most powerful images that I saw on the internet today, one of the most powerful images that speaks to what we're talking about right now, is a single picture. The left side of the face is Emmett Till. The right side is Tamir. And one of the things I thought about when I looked at that image is that image is made possible in part because of what we did not do. That image is made possible in part because of what we did not take care of. Emmett Till's mother told us this can't happen to anyone else's child. And it has happened to child after grown man after grown woman, over and over and over again. And so, like in this fable, like in this folk tale, we'll swear, we can continue to swear that it's all about police violence against us. But at what point do we begin to change our paradigm so that no matter what they do, we can still protect ourselves and our children? We really have to ask that question. Because clearly what we've been doing does not suffice. And
It doesn't work.
I'm not trying to blame the real victim. I'm trying to say that I am tired of being amongst those who see themselves as victimized. I want to be a part of, for instance, I want to be Fortune telling the traveler, no, this is really about us. This is about what we need to do. We can't wait on them to make themselves righteous.
Right.
We need to do something.
You will
right.
Because Fortune was telling this dude, wake up, dude. You about to fall into the well. We already fell into the well. And see, the issue that we have is that if we have this conversation in the community, the first thing that comes up is that we have to get on the defense because we're blaming the victim.
That's right.
That's even though we don't. What we're saying is that we have to do some preventative health. We got to do some. We got to take some preventative medicine. We got to take some preventative measures. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the bottom line fact. If police that break the law in our community or any other community in an unjust way started disappearing, how long would it go on?
And that's exactly. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We all know that if there's consequences for action, people hesitate unless something is wrong with them mentally. People hesitate in their actions. They think about their actions a little bit more. But if there are no consequences,
that's
you know what I'm saying? Other than yelling,
that's
we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because, like for example, I come from a generation of people where a lot of, especially the older people, they didn't use a lot of words with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shut up was usually followed by something.
Absolutely.
You know? If they had to go beyond, shut up.
I said no was that they meant that. They meant that. You better be home at such and such time. You couldn't come in 15 minutes after that. There were consequences. There were consequences for unacceptable behavior. Absolutely. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And by that being very clear, we learned a very, very important lesson.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We learned about boundaries, and we learned how to treat our parents. So even in their old age, we might disagree with them, but we know certain things that we will not say to them.
That's right.
You know, and you learn, and that respect spread it to other elders. Now, we didn't tolerate, because even in my age now, I don't tolerate any foolishness, but I don't have to be disrespectful with somebody that's older than me if they're spouting foolishness. If it's so foolish, then I might need to leave and not be in the presence of a fool, especially an old fool.
That's absolutely right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because if I'm in a room with an old fool, what does that make me?
Yep, that's right.
You see what I'm saying? So, hey, so we have to make sure, because we train people how to treat us.
Yep.
Right?
That's right. That's absolutely right.
When they take a life of one of our children and we're just protesting and we're doing vigils and we're doing candles. Same thing with the young boy who was shot in Chicago by a gang.
Same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, somebody should have been, some of the OGs should have been demanding that somebody in that area, because we know who neighborhood that is. Somebody in that neighborhood should there should have been some pittance paid for that, because where are we going when we allow our children to be taken? But then again, they allow themselves to be called savages. So I don't know what we expect.
Right.
I don't know what we expect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you got a group of individuals that allow themselves to be called savages.
That's right.
I don't know if you know that now, but that's a new term now.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm like, God.
And there's a black woman on Facebook. I don't remember her name, but she is constantly lamenting the fact. She's like, I need for my black brothers to stop calling themselves warriors, because y'all ain't warriors. You ain't fought for nothing within your community in a long time. How do I know? Look at the state of our community. And that's, again, not to be redundant. Why am I looking at a picture where half the face is Emmett Till, the other half is Tamir? Are you kidding? We're still having the same struggles, the same conversations. They still killing our babies. It hasn't stopped. What are we prepared to do? That's the question. Because clearly we haven't done enough.
Oh man, hey, I mean, because now my new thing for 26, it ain't even new, but for me in 2016, because we done got the history. You know what I'm saying? We got the history. We grasped the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We got the master ebonics and the English vernacular. We got that.
Mm-hmm.
We got all that. You know what I'm saying? But now we need to get our economics together. See, because it's like this. Once the neighborhood is feeding the people, then the people will protect the neighborhood.
That's
right. Now, our neighborhoods, actually we don't have neighborhoods. We don't have communities. They are not feeding the people. They are not taking care of the people. The land.
That's why we're eating each other.
Exactly, and allowing others to come in outside the neighborhood and basically eat us as well. You know what I'm saying? We are the food of the world. We are the economic food of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like we have because I be listening to the news and they be talking about the trade balance and trade deficits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
right.
Notice that countries will not let, if a country has any power, they always talking about balance and trade. It's only so much that they're gonna let in their borders.
That's right.
Without something going out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got to have
come in here. You ain't just gonna come in here and use the people in this nation to make yourself rich and not give anything back. You're not
giving anything back and not buy nothing from us. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We're the only people. We're the only group of people that allow that to happen. See, because when you look at you, because a lot of people, they be tripping on me because I tell people, I say, listen, a nation is just a larger model of a tribe.
That's it.
Or a city. A city is a larger model of a tribe. A tribe is a larger model of family. So if you look at the basic definition, is about territory, economic life, distinctive culture, language, and common. That is what a family needs. The family needs a distinctive culture, a language in common. It needs an economic life, and it needs a territory.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of our families are breaking up because we don't have those basic things.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have those. And then we look at our community. We don't have a community. Why? Because the community don't have territory. And because it don't have territory, it can't provide an economic life. And because it can't provide an economic life, the culture dissolves. And because the culture dissolves, we are not able to communicate in a way that will move us to another level of life.
Right.
Very simple. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we want to make it hard. We want to look at, well, if, America would provide us with America is not responsible for providing us with shit. Excuse my language.
No, it's
because not. America is a country that is built on hustle and built on taking shit from other people.
That's right. That's right.
So all of a sudden, we want to reverse the American way and say that they are supposed to give us something. No, we got to make them give us something. We got to, establish our territory, and we got to take our territory because they took it. And they won't even let you talk about it in a rational way. Every time you try to remind them about all the shit that they done took from the world, they change the subject on.
That's exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't even. Matter of fact, it's not even logical, and it's not even clear what the fuck they're talking about when you start reminding them about the atrocities that they have done. I was listening to this shit put together by and this is put together by some white boys. It was something I posted on my timeline where they talk about the 10 most violent and worst nations, right? 7 out of those 10 were European countries, and what the thing that really boggled my mind with some of these the most violent one that they put was England, and they put the amount of deaths attributed to England and the English expansion, and hundreds of millions of people. They had a precise number. I mean, they did their research, right? But then they started talking about England, France, Portugal.
Portugal, yeah.
Oh, I hate. Listen, I already didn't like Portugal. I was taking. I took Capoeira, and one of the major issues I had with Capoeira was that I had to learn to sing the songs in Portuguese. I hate Portuguese. I don't give a damn whether it's Brazilian.
Right.
And I have always had a distaste in my mouth for Portugal. But then after I heard that these motherfuckers, rather than give up the colonies, do you know that they started executing and killing our people?
Absolutely. You can't have that's exactly right. That's exactly
in the
right.
70s, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I did. I mean, and wait a minute. It's no different than what's happening right now. We just don't know any better.
We just don't know any better.
We just don't know any better.
And when we give up our power to things like white supremacy, to things like fortune, to some of these religions, when we give up our self, since we in Kwanzaa, when we give up our Kujichagulia, we release our power. And by releasing our power, we become victims to everything.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Because I want people to understand this. We could talk about Jesus. We could talk about Muhammad and Allah. We could talk about Buddha. You know what I'm saying? And forgiveness and all this. But let somebody violate any of these Europeans, any of these West Asians. I don't even want to see, because I'm at a point right now, because I'm old enough to recognize that there is no Europe. There's only West Asia.
That's right.
Y'all not special.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Y'all West Asians.
That's
right.
It.
So the point that I'm trying to make is this: violate them.
Yep.
Like when they did the 911 thing. When they did the 911 thing, they wasn't praying. There was a segment of their population that they were looking for peace. They went straight for war. They went straight to the war rooms. And were giving orders and taking orders to take lives. And they have been taking lives for the last 20 years.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We're the only people to be like, oh, I know you just did this yesterday.
Right.
And you shot up 15 of my people.
Right.
We go forgive you.
Right. Like it's new.
Hell with that. Hell with that.
Right.
Why would I stop terrorizing you if you forgive me without me even making a penance or even asking for forgiveness?
Right. Exactly.
Why would I respect that?
Exactly. I'm just going to keep on doing it.
I'm going to keep on. As a matter of fact, it's in my nature. You are a deer, I am a lion.
That's right.
I want territory. I understand that I have to control my territory, and you are in my territory. As a matter of fact, you're a lion that thinks that you are a sheep, or you are a predator like me, or you should be a predator like me, but you have been brainwashed, and I have fooled you to think that you are not. So I'm going to punk you because you do not belong on my territory, and I'm going to kill you till you get off my territory, because if you wake up, you are a threat to me.
And if you don't get off my territory, please know that I am willing to burn the place down. So
I will burn it down.
That's absolutely right. Because it is more valuable to me to have nothing than to have you in charge of anything. Yeah. I'd rather it not exist.
I'd rather it not exist. But a lot of us we don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? We don't understand the mind state in which we are working with. You know what I'm saying? But part of that too is also understanding that they are good listeners.
Yep.
They're good students.
Absolutely.
We just have to re-educate them. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? And we got to come with a strong hand because
That's
they
right.
have shown our history that when we came at them with a strong hand, they did listen and learn very well. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
correct.
Because we gave them Christianity. We gave them Islam. We gave them
Mhm.
Buddhism. We gave
Mhm.
them Hinduism. We taught them that. They're good
Mhm.
students, and they held on to the lessons. As a matter of fact, they held on to the lessons longer than we did.
Mhm.
And
Like,
now
wait a minute, like Anthony Browder said, we forgot we taught them the lesson.
we forgot we taught them the lessons, and now they're using the lessons against us.
That's correct.
But but then there's every generation we have more and more kids that's being born with a memory of what we were, rather
Yep.
than what we're told we are.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And it gets back, and the most important, and people like yourself are in the most important position so that you could drop seeds on our young people, because we are the only, like I said at the beginning, one of the major issues with black folks is that we don't know how to our problem is that we don't know how to recognize the problem.
Mhm.
We don't know how to recognize the problems. We don't see that there's
Mhm.
a problem with other people determining the policy for how we educate our kids. We don't see that there's a problem there. We don't see that there's a problem with other individuals being able to open stores in our community. We don't see that there's a problem with us now owning our own banks. We don't see that there's a problem with us having to look for outside resources to fund our own events. We don't see them. We don't see those as problems. What we say is that the violence in the hood is a problem. But the fact of the matter is, when you look at the statistics, the violence in the hood has actually dropped. And the only reason it looks like it's more right now is because the news is more accessible to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We hear about more madness now, rather than it actually being more madness out there right now. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, the all this stuff been going on.
Right.
But many of us wouldn't be exposed to it because by the time we heard about it, it was old news.
That's right.
So.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go.
You know,
what's up?
A soundtrack.
The who?
I said you got the family soundtrack in the background.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, such is life.
The Children Brigade, man.
Yes, sir.
It is what it is, man. I can't escape my fate, man. My children love me. They want to be around me, and I'm glad that they like. I'm glad they like showing off.
Yeah, just don't fall asleep too close to the well. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I gotta wake them up. I gotta wake them up because I don't want them to blame their foolishness on me. You know, but hey. So, White Brother D is here, and I want first Brother D here. Sister Janice is here. Those that want to join the conversation, feel free to hit me up at 614-556-4535. You can come and join the conversation live. The tale that we are talking about right now is The Traveler and Fortune. All right. A real good one. This Friday, Gye-Nyame Journey will be hosting Kwanzaa at we're gonna be doing the money on Friday. It will start at 5. It will be from 5 to 9. And we're going to show a nice movie. We're going to have a discussion about that movie. We're going to have a community discussion about the movie. And, of course, since the thing for me now is economic empowerment, the movie's going to deal with economics in the black community, in the black area, since I don't believe we have a community as of yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm using Imani, which is faith, because you can't have economics if you don't have faith in the people that you doing faith with the people you're supposed to be doing economics with. You know, so we got to start developing that faith so that we can do that. You know what I'm saying? So now back to the tale. So Brother D, are you familiar with the tale? Did you have time to look up?
I am familiar with the tale. I was actually prepared to delve into it last week when you that drifted
I'm
off
on,
into
man.
your
I'm
superpower.
on, man. Hey, man. Hey. I'm less than 8 years out from being an official elder, and I'll be trying to make it to 10 o'clock, and night is coming earlier. After, you know what I'm saying, night is coming about 5 o'clock. It gets dark out, man. Hey, I was trying to make it. But hey,
Early
go on with
man.
the discussion. Go on with the discussion your young ass had last week. I can't wait. I can't wait to age creep up on you. You know, because by the time you start getting tired, I'm gonna be going through my second youth. I'm just letting you know.
You gonna get your second win, I tell you.
Oh man, you know how we do. You know what I'm saying? Because as you get older, you start sleeping less. Now I'm at the height of my life where I'm working more. I got young kids running around. You know, in a minute they're gonna be older. They're gonna be able to handle their own shit, and I'm gonna start sleeping less. Elders start sleeping less. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather used to sleep about 3-4 hours. You know what I'm saying? You know, I guess you know, and because time moves a lot faster for them. Go ahead.
No, I mean I get it because when my grandfather went into the hospital, I went to stay with my grandmother. She went to bed probably around 9:30, but then she was back up at like 1 doing stuff.
That's right. Time. See, and let me tell you, this is where I learned where I learned the lesson about time. Right? With my dog. Because one day I was doing the math for my dog, and I was like, you know, I go to work, and I would leave for work for 8 a.m., and I wouldn't get back till almost 7 o'clock. And I started doing the math. I said, well, damn, a dog year is 1 dog year is 7 years of our years. So he's not actually sitting in my house for just 8 hours. To him, that's like 3 days. Right. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sitting up here like, God damn. My dog could actually be going insane waiting for me and shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so I start thinking about elders as we get older, time speeds up because, you know, the distance between Christmas now and my 40s is a lot different between the distance between Christmases when I was getting gifts. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, it would take forever for Christmas to come, especially that last week, right? Now it's like, boom. It's like, you know, I was just doing this last year. I was just doing it. So, you know, as I get older, you know, time, you know. So I imagine my sleep time is going to get shorter because, you know, I got a limited amount of time on this earth. So, you know, it's going to start cutting down. Oh, I just want to know.
Catch little mini ones during the middle of the day.
Right. Well, you know, I've been doing that, but I've been doing that my whole life. Shit. I slept through high school and partially through college. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I still have meetings, man. Hey, listen. My boss will pull me in a meeting just so that they can have something to laugh about because they know I'm gonna fall asleep. He will pull me in a meeting on purpose. Just so I could break the monotony because he know that I'm going to nod off. You know? So, you know, but I got a run coming up, and I'm going for 32 miles. I'm less than 2 weeks out. My workout has been horrible. I've totally fallen all the way off, Sister Janice. I was running almost every day, and something happened. I don't know what happened. I just didn't feel like running. But I'm too cheap to let this $100 that I already paid for this run to go to waste.
So you gonna try and run 32 miles and you ain't been running, is that right?
Damn right.
We need some. I'm thinking of several quotes by Einstein in relation to what you just said.
If any of those quotes could produce $120 before the time of the run, now, but actually, I already know that I could do the run. See, because I'm in shape, because I have cut out a lot of foolishness. All right? So I'm in shape. You know, because that's just, I'm not timing myself. So I could do the run between 7 and 10 hours.
Mhm.
I just got to keep moving. Listen, see, this is the piece. This is what a lot of people don't understand, right? I chose to do 32 miles because I wanted to be above a marathon. And what I need to be able to show people, because I got two opportunities. I got one on February. I got one in January. January. Monday is the 4th, January 4th. So it's going to be January 10th. Then I got another chance to go for 32 miles on February 7th. But the reason I'm picking 32 miles, the reason I'm choosing the ultramarathon is because I want to show people that if you put your mind to whatever it is you want to do, man, all you got to do is continue moving in that direction. I didn't say I was going to win the damn race. I didn't even say I was in a race.
Running it.
I said I'm running.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to do the 32 miles.
Keep swimming.
So
Just keep swimming.
just keep moving. All I gotta do is one step at a time in the direction that I'm going, and I could do that. I could do 6 miles an hour for 5 hours. That's 30 miles, and I could take 10 hours for the last 2. So determination. That's what it takes.
Yeah, it is. That's right.
Determination. So, all right, back to the folktale. Buzz D, you said you got something you want to share?
Oh, about the
folktale.
Weary, then coming to the edge of a well.
Yeah. Oh, now, there's 2 stories. I mean, because one of the things I like about Aesop is there's different versions of the story, because I read in another place that they got another version where it's a little boy that goes to the edge of the well. But on this is a grown man. But go ahead.
And so, I guess the first thing that came to mind was why the traveler didn't get a drink first before getting the rest. Or the story doesn't say whether he or not. So when you think of being on your life journey, you get certain mile markers, if you feel it's kind of like an opportunity to celebrate that accomplishment before you move on to the next thing. But yet this traveler decided to was so tired, just went to sleep at the edge, like you're almost where you need to be. You fell asleep.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, now I'm gonna say this because I want to bring this to everybody that's listening to attention. Those that want to join the conversation, real quick, 614-556-4535, because this is a life changer, right? Now, one of the things that I noticed about the folktale is that they didn't mention that the dude didn't see the whale. Now, in the other one with the little boy, they say that the little boy in the dark walked to the edge of the whale. But in this one, a traveler weary from a long journey lay down, overcome with fatigue on the very brink of a deep well.
Mm-hmm.
Just as he was about to fall into the water, Dame Fortune said, appeared to him and waking him from his slumber. Now, this dude was doing something obviously very stupid. You know what I'm saying? This dude was trying to sleep on the edge of something that could only bring him badness. How do you sleep? That's like me sitting on the edge of a well in the middle of a lecture. I am going to die. My head is going to drop back, and I'm going to fall into the well. I know this. The traveler was going to sleep on the edge of the well. He put himself in jeopardy. And to save her reputation, Fortune was like, look, fool, I want to wake you up before you roll over into the well because everybody's going to blame me for your stupidness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, could you wake up and move? Because I don't want to receive the blame for you being stupid. Everyone is more or less master of his own fate. And what I like about this is it says more or less. Now that's dope because what it's saying is that some people have more power over their fate than others. What determines whether or not you have more or less control over your fate?
Man, it makes me think about a conversation I was having earlier with one of my elders about Pinocchio of all characters, and him wanting to be a real boy. And so the question was, what kind of puppet was Pinocchio? And why was it that he wanted to become a real boy? Now, some of us allow people to pull our strings and choose the direction which we go in. But until we accept and take on that self-control, I'm real, it's still going to be kind of at the fate of other expressions of other people that are affecting our fate, I should say.
You call me.
Wow.
I was on the phone with her.
You just made me think about something else. The
So that's what it's be about, right?
Hey, but check this out. The dude that went to the edge of the well was not a dude. The dude is all the pieces are a metaphor. That is our fucking community. Sitting at the brink of destruction. Falling asleep. About to fall over the edge. Fortune is pulling our tails right now like, yo, y'all need to wake up because I don't want y'all to blame me for your stupidness. Because that's exactly what we're going to do. That's what we do. I mean, because
that's what we are doing. That's what we're doing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we already know we're going to fall. We sitting on the edge. We already know we're going to fall. Wait, hold on. Brother D.
Yes, sir.
You showing up on my map that you in Detroit too. The hell going on here?
I have no idea.
I was just no, but actually it's saying you're in Detroit. But yeah, man, it's like we are the ones that fell asleep. It's like we put ourselves in. Oh my God! As a people, we have put ourselves in a dangerous position, and we are falling asleep. And Fortune is at this point in time trying to wake us up because we have put our fate in other people's hands.
Yep.
Because it's almost like we have totally given away our fate. Because every time we blame somebody else for some of the, excuse my language, the fuckery that's going on. Well, let me go on and say it right.
The buffoonery
and white magic that's going on in our community or in our area. You know what I'm saying? We always are blaming other people. And we're saying that they're responsible. And I think we don't even, for some reason, we don't realize that when we blame others, we constantly give away our power. And I keep trying to remind myself of that as I fuck up. Because I want to be fully responsible for my life. So I want to stop blaming others for my fuck ups, but it's so easy. And it's so acceptable. Do you know, back in the day, they wouldn't even, for us to do that would be so dishonorable that, we wouldn't even be able to exist in a village. If every time we messed up, we blame somebody else for our fuckery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to that. We got to get back to that. I'm moving back to that myself. Moving back. You know what I'm saying? Because because where I'm living right now, I don't like it. So, all right. Is there any other comments about this hotel? Any other Jews that may come up? Any announcements?
So, well, if there's anybody out there they're listening and they want to participate, I did get a text earlier about a protest at the building where Mayor Rice.
Yeah, you breaking up. I just got a text about the Tamir Rice thing.
Right.
So they didn't convict the dude. What happened with that?
Right. So
there was no indictment. Nobody was indicted.
Wow. People surprised?
Yes, people. That's what I was talking to you about earlier, Hatem.
I know.
My community surprise is just, it's sickening to me because I don't. What world are y'all living in? What historical reality led you to believe that there was going to be some righteousness for that little boy?
Right.
No, wait. Some righteousness where we didn't have to get our hands dirty.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? See, because it's like we have really fallen for the piece that justice is blind.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Justice may be blind, but Ma'at is not. God damn it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like Ma'at, oftentimes when you really get to study the literature, Ma'at had a being called Herkuti that would go out to make sure that she was maintained.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't just, or even if you look at the story of who they would call Hathor, you know what I'm saying? When the gods were offended, right? They didn't hope for the universe to fall to bring things in balance.
That's right.
They had people or beings that carried out the justice to bring things back into line. Black folks, you know what I'm saying? If we want justice, right? If we really want to do it, there's certain things that we have to do, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just being all the way real with you because once again we're getting back to the conversation that me and Janice had earlier. You know, because the when you look at Europeans, man, when you do something to them,
that's right.
They handle their business and then they ask for forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? They see forgiveness rather than permission. You know what I'm saying? Right. And as long as we are seeking the approval of the world,
right,
at the expense of the freedom of our people, at the expense of the lives of our children, nobody will ever respect that. I don't have
That's
to.
right.
I could speed up on camera and shoot one of your kids and walk away. You know why?
And y'all ain't gonna do shit but hold a press conference and have a march.
That's it. Well,
I don't know if I can make the march because I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I'm not sure if I can take the time off. I can't afford it.
Right.
Say it again. I couldn't hear you. What did he say?
So I don't know if I can take time off to make it to this march because I can't afford it. I'm living paycheck to paycheck.
Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I can always find time to spend the night outside to wait in line for the new Jordan. But I ain't gonna do march.
See, and that gets back down to the whole economic piece.
That's right.
Since we ain't waging the first war, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying? We don't run a cultural war because we could prove without a shadow of a doubt that we are the creators of civilization. We could do that. We could have those debates. We could win those. But that's not important.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because in the bottom line, if you are the mother and the father of civilization, we are the rulers of the world. You can have it.
Yep.
You have Egypt.
Yep.
You can have Assyria. You can have Babylonia.
Yep.
You can have Israel. You can have
Yep.
Christianity. You can have Islam. You can have all that. But you know what we got? We got the land.
That's it.
Hey, how you beat that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know how do you deal with that? You know what I'm saying? We got all the symbols because I mean, we have been pacified with symbols for the last 100 years. Maybe 200-300 years. They give us little symbols of freedom and little symbols of nothing. Little symbols. And we're satisfied with that. Symbolic gestures. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, please. We gotta start being satisfied with these symbolic gestures and they need to really give us some blood. See, because my ancestors taught me that everything requires a sacrifice.
That's right.
Like in some of the gangster movies I saw, that when you take a life, right? When somebody accidentally took one gangster's and in one family's life, there had to be some type of payoff or sacrifice from that other family for there to be peace.
Yep. Like, you know what? That makes me think, and I'm finished when I say this. That makes me think of the line that Sean Connery said in the movie The Untouchable. He said, "You bring a knife, I bring a gun. You kill one of mine, I'm taking out the whole hood." And then he said, "What are you prepared to do?" Which brings me full circle to what I said earlier. We clearly, and yes, we're victims, but we clearly haven't moved past that. We are not angry enough yet to be able to begin to come up with an answer that we haven't found yet.
But you know what? We don't. How can I put it? The question that's being asked doesn't even need an answer.
Right.
It needs an action.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It needs an action.
That's
right. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, with all the police brutality going on, police will be a lot more soft-handed with everybody. If police that were caught up in fuckery ended up in fucked up situations.
That's right. That's right. Preach.
It would a lot of, regardless of what race it was.
Right.
But especially with ours, because I'm gonna focus on ours. If those individuals who you know, and it don't even mean that they have to die, because sometimes death is easy.
That's
See,
right.
that's what a lot of people don't understand. Death is easy. We're not calling for the death of nobody. What I'm calling for is for how they would see, because Europeans taught us very well. They taught me very well because I'm a studier of history. I know for a fact that when they wanted to make an example of a runaway slave, and they showed you in the movie Roots, they didn't kill Kunta Kinte. They made it possible for Kunta Kinte to exist and not be able to run at the pace that he was running at before. So they took his toes. You know what I'm saying? They took half his foot. Huh?
They gave him a permanent reminder of.
But they didn't do that for him. You got to remember.
And not
just
him. Not just him, for the entire community.
Because they seen him hobble around.
That's right.
We need a reminder. You know what I'm saying? You know, you shoot one of mine, you have no fingers.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? You unjustly shoot one of mine, dude, you have no fingers. You have no hands. You know what I'm saying? And no tongue to testify. You better hope somebody can understand you moving your hands and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, because we go straight to death. When death don't really teach the lesson. See, because in that case, if they would have just killed us as black people, You got to understand, most people are willing, because they show people being real terrified of death. But a majority of the people already accept the fact, especially if they've been living in a condition where death is possibly right around the corner, they can accept death.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Death is easy.
Right.
It don't take no effort. You kill me, it's done. Right? What I can't do is the torture.
Yep.
That I would live. See, because when you destroy somebody, when you want to destroy somebody, you want to leave an example.
That's right.
You want to leave a remnant, a walking, living, breathing remnant of what I will do to you and everybody else that looks like you or acts like you. We don't do that. We want to go straight to just eliminate, but that don't work. That don't work.
Nope.
But I better get off here because FBI and CIA is listening to my shit.
What else is new, Hatem? What else is new? But let me just say to everybody, let's put out a whole lot of positive vibes in anticipation of a new year. Let's claim 2016. Let's claim 2016 to be that of a number of victories for humanity, not just people of color, but humanity, period, because the whole world has gone crazy. And so I'm claiming victory for righteousness, for justice.
Victory! Victory shall be mine!
This guy, please.
I grew up in the church.
Let's show you how to baby.
You see my baby, she learned how to do the commercials. Also remember this. I'll be posting stuff up on in Gye-Nyame Journey. You need to follow that. Listen, because I always put up all of the scientific advancements because we get a lot of the bad news, but I want to try to make sure that people are able to see some of the good stuff that's going on out there, man, because the opportunities and the possibilities that are out there that are coming in the world, man, in the next 5 years is just ridiculous. Get away from me while I'm on the mic, baby. Get out. Get out my studio. The kitchen is my studio right now. Y'all stay out.
She's laughing at you. She's laughing at you.
What you talking about? Oh, man, I seen the pictures of you and your sister up on Facebook, girl.
You said what?
I seen a picture of you and your sister up on Facebook today.
Yeah, I'm here in the D. She's in town to see my parents, and so I'm here in Detroit. We would take it because I never get to see her. She never comes home. So Yep.
I could dig it. All right, but hey, family's a beautiful thing. Anybody got any last?
Hey, man.
Janice says she claiming victory in 2016. I'm claiming 2016 once again. I've been claiming the last 10 years. I've been doing all right. This year I'm gonna do real good.
That's right. There you go. Claim it.
I'm gonna do excellent, great, fantastic, marvelous, and amazing things.
That's right.
And I'm gonna run them 32 miles. But go ahead.
There you go.
64 miles now. But go ahead, Brother D. What you got?
Oh, he gone?
Is you there, Brother D? No, he's still on here. Say he in Detroit. I'm telling you, there's some craziness going on here. Because he is about the same age as you, Sister Janet. You wouldn't come see a brother today. But hey, Brother D in town, guess what?
Wow.
But hey, y'all have a great night. It was great talking to you. This is the last Folktale for Grown Folks in 2015, Moon 2016. So tomorrow we're going to be doing tribal quotes. So I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. If not, I love everybody that's taking the time to listen to it. I want to give special shots and thanks to Sister Janice and Brother D for joining me for the last Folktales for Grown Folks in 2015. In 2016, we will be at 9 p.m. because Brother Hatem finds it very difficult to stay up to 10 o'clock.
No problem. Good for Janice, too.
All right, cool. You should have told me that earlier.
That's okay.
6 months ago. But hey, I want
All
to
right.
thank you for joining me, baby, and I really like
Okay.
hearing your voice. You take it easy. Have a
Yep.
good evening, everybody. Have a
Talk
good
to
night.
you soon. You too.
Peace.
Good night.
All right.
Come on, Gina. Say bye.
Goodbye.
Say thank you for joining us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Thank you for joining us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Good job. I'm out.
Radio.
Say Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Radio.
Good job, Sasha. Now it's time for bed.
Johnny, and what's up, Jerry?